What's up, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this POV review by Autobahn. My name is Max, and today we've got another viewer's car. This is Albert's BMW 535i GT, the 5 Series Gran Turismo, the weirdest BMW ever, I think. It is such a difficult car to sort of get your head around, but I figured it out today. It is basically the Swiss Army knife of BMWs. It tries to be everything, and well, it kind of succeeds at most of them. It is quite an impressive car, and today I'm going to show you around it. We'll take a look at it. It has been slightly modded, and then we'll take it for a drive towards the Autobahn for an Autobahn blast. So apparently they listened to their customers when they designed this car, when they tried to figure out what this car should be. It had to be a car that you sat a bit higher in compared to a 5 Series. It had to be practical, and it had to be comfortable for passengers. So basically it is a 7 Series hatchback. That is what they came up with. Even though it is called a 5 Series, it has more in common with a 7 Series. It has a 7 Series dashboard, it has a 7 Series suspension setup. It is super comfy, you have loads of legroom in the rear, and you have a very special boot as well. So let's start at the front. You can see that the car is a little bit higher, wider and longer than a 5 Series sedan. It's also longer than a 5 Series Touring, and it has, well, sort of the nose of a 7 Series F01. The generation code of this car is F07. We've got shadow lines, so black grille. Nice angel eyes in the headlights as well, and then these wheels have been installed by the previous owner, 21 inch, with a very skinny tire. So this is a 245/35 on the front, and I think it's a 275/30 at the rear. So it's a very skinny tire, and it doesn't really fit the car, I think. You know, it's a very comfortable cruiser, and yeah, I don't really understand why the previous owner went for a 21 inch wheel with such a skinny tire. It just doesn't make sense. It's very weird. I also don't think the wheel matches the car very well. If you want to follow Albert, you can do that on Instagram, Beamer5GT. And then, as I said, yeah, 275/30. So that's quite weird. It's a weird setup. It's also very wide tire at the rear. Exhaust has been modified as well. This is an Eisenmann exhaust, and it sounds really good. It has a silky smooth N55 inline 6, and this exhaust brings out the best of that engine. It's really nice, very good sound. So as I said, the car has a special boot. You can open it like a regular, like 7 Series. I think this is very 7 Series with that chrome running across. So you can open it like that, like a regular trunk. But then if you have like big stuff you need to move, you can also open it like a hatchback. So as you can see, we've got a passenger there. Hello, sir. So I think the clever thing is that if you have like passengers in the rear, you can open just the trunk, and passengers don't get the cold wind that is out today. They don't get that in their necks. So if you open this, it's just closed, right? And then if you have to move big stuff, you open the hatchback and you can fold down the rear seats, and you have a lot of space to move stuff. So rear seats, as I said, very comfortable. Very comfy, right?
It is.
A lot of leg room as well. This is my position, and then these are adjustable manually, optionally electrically. That is pretty good, and well, you've got a lot of headroom as well. Pretty comfy. So let's take a look at the engine. That is the N55 3-liter inline 6 turbocharged engine with 306 horsepower, 400 newton meters. But Albert had it on the dyno, and it put out around 300 horsepower. Well, it put out 300 horsepower exactly. So it did lose a couple of horses along the way. This is a 2009 car, so the year of the introduction of this car. In 2010, the optional X-Drive was available, but this car has just rear-wheel drive. And this is actually the first 5 Series in the new F Series. So in most countries, this car, the 535i GT, or the 5 Series GT in general, was sold alongside the E60 5 Series, which is very strange. And then this was also the car that the N55 was introduced in. So that's the first time that this engine replaced the N54. It's a very nice engine. It sounds amazing, silky smooth. Even though it is slightly underpowered for this car, I would say. It's 1950, 1960 kilos, so it's quite a heavy car, and you don't have that much torque. So it does feel, you know, you do feel the weight. In here, as I said, you've got a 7 Series dash, so this is much wider and higher than a 5 Series dash. Also, just a tad nicer with this wood, beautiful. And then this is also a bit bigger compared to a 5 Series, this entire center console. With the black ceramic covers for the gear lever and the iDrive controller. It is a very nice interior. Yeah, it's a bit of nostalgia for us as well, because we used to own an F11 535D, which was really nice. Really loved that car. I think that engine would fit in this car better, because you have a lot more torque. Yeah. But this thing is silky smooth and it sounds amazing. So I don't know if the previous owner also installed this exhaust, but he did install the wheels, and I don't really like the wheels, but I do like the exhaust, because the exhaust fits the car very well. It's still really like civilized, but it definitely brings that N55 to life. So let's take it for a drive and see what it's like. Now, I have to start by saying that we just filled the car up, and we encountered a less than ideal road. So, you know, some cobbles basically, and well, build quality on these F Series 5 Series is not great. We've seen that before when we drove older 5 Series of this generation. It really is not great. There are a lot of rattles. Whew, that sounds good. But there are a lot of rattles, and it is also down to those 21-inch wheels. I have to say, those skinny tires don't really help with that either. But we've noticed it before. It's not really great. But this sound is really, really good. As I said, absolutely nailed it. It is not too loud. It just brings that N55 to the next level, which is very nice. Other than the little creaks, rattles and cracks in the interior, it is a very, very comfy car. You've got these amazing comfort seats. They are so good. We had them in our 5 Series as well. One of my favorite things about this generation 5 Series. They are amazing. Best seats ever, basically. BMW comfort seats are the best out there. They are supportive. You can sit in them for like 8 or 9 hours and just come out the other end as well as you got in, and it's just amazing. Comfort wise, you can feel that the suspension is super comfy. I've got it in Sport Plus right now, so that tightens up everything, but still it's really good. Steering, handling, it is exactly what you expect. You have quite a bit of steering feel. It's quite a heavy power steering, but you know, it is geared towards comfort, so it's quite a filtered driving experience, apart from that lovely sound now. Linked to the ZF 8-speed, although it is an amazing gearbox, you do feel that it's a bit older now. The car has done 171,000 kilometers, and you know, you can feel that sometimes it's a bit late to respond. Oh, that is nice. So 0 to 100 for this car, claimed by BMW, 6.3 seconds. But if you do a little bit of a brake launch, you should be able to get 6.1. That is what we have measured. That is 100 kilometers an hour. So the driving experience of the 5 Series GT, it's right in between like the 5 Series, the 7 Series and an X5, I would say, because you sit quite high up, you have a good view of everything, and you have the comfort of a 7 Series, you have the practicality of an X5 or a 5 Series Touring. It's not that expensive compared to a 7 Series. It's not as like showy as a 7 Series either, so it is like the granddad version, I would say, of a 7 Series or of a 5 Series maybe. So it's like a super specific, like a niche, but I think they executed it really well, because it kind of all makes sense. So full throttle on the Autobahn, beautiful 6-cylinder sound. So that was an 18.96 100 to 200, which is quite okay actually for this much weight, 300 horsepower, 400 Newton meters. That is quite respectable. It's not groundbreaking, but it's not bad either. It just works quite well, this engine in this car, even though, as I said, I think a 535D would be maybe even better because you have a bit more torque. But other than that, it's just a nice car. I mean, these cars now, prices start at around 10,000 euros, so it is a lot of value for money. You get a lot of car for that price. It is big, it's comfy, I mean, it is relative. I think it's quite good looking. It's a bit weird, but I don't hate it actually. And you know, you have a beautiful inline 6 by BMW, lovely automatic gearbox. It is a lot of car for your money, and I quite like that. I always like a steal. So Albert, thanks for taking your car to us. Really enjoyed driving it. To you guys, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. You can subscribe by clicking the big button in the middle. You can also check out this video or this playlist. See you at the next one. Bye.